Hi everyone, it's Cards by Rachel here with another card making tutorial for the stamp stop using waffle flower products. I'm using the A2 Postage Collage die and the A2 Postage Blocks die, the Butterfly Silhouette die and the Postage Collage Mini Seal die and the basic postage stamps to go with it. Postage Collage addressed envelope stencil. Here I'm just showing you can do this in different ways. You can use the blocks die to cut all your pieces and the frame and then stencil, or you can cut a piece of cardstock that is 4¼ by 5½ and stencil on that. I'll actually show both of the ideas in this video. But we will start by using that block die. I cut the frame and it also cuts the pieces that go inside. I'm just gonna layer them on my sticky mats for easy alignment basically. Just making sure everything is lined up properly. And I wanted to show a card I already made using Kitsch Flamingo, Peacock Feathers, and Mermaid Lagoon. And there I used like a light with each of the colors. I did a light shading like this. Actually, you can see now on the edge. But for this one, I thought we'd do it a bit more opaque and actually color in the whole block. Just to show that there are different methods to doing this. You could also just shade your edges like I did with that example card. You can look at it more closely in the end. And here I'm using the party pink from the Stamp Market. I'm using Ocean and I'm using Island. I find that it's the most matching colors to the 3 oxide colors I used on my example card. And also you can see then a little bit what I meant in our last video between the difference between the oxides and the stamp markets. You can really see it well, I find, in the final examples. I will also do another video like creating two of the same backgrounds using both oxides and the stamp market dye inks. So there will be more examples to show you guys. I'm using these small daubers ink thingies. I don't find they're really nice to use on like these bigger areas, but my brushes are actually like still drying from the cleaning I gave them because they could really use a good cleaning. So we'll have to make do with these ones. But yeah, for the stencil it works very well, but for these bigger areas I'm not quite a fan. Sorry about my head in a way there, but I needed to line up the addressed envelope stencil pretty well. And I'm just like alternating between colors. The Stamp Market Dye Inks do blend a bit more, like the color gets a bit lost. It's also because we did a more opaque background. I don't mind it, but if you don't like that, then I would suggest just do this shading on the edge, or you could also use the block die to cut out of colored paper, and that way alterate your colors for each envelope and then ink on top of that. I didn't choose to do that just because I wanted to show off the inks more, but yeah, you could definitely do that. It makes for a little bit more easy inking as well, and you can still do the like shading on the sides of it, on the edges basically. Here we remove that. I do not worry about that like inked up blocks panel because I will just cut it once more out of white and then get it covered up. Here I've got a cardstock base piece and also pattern paper that's 4¼ by 5½ inch, and I'm just gonna lay that on our card base while my ink is drying a little bit, so we can just keep working on it. And here I also attached that block die frame onto our main background piece. And here I'm gonna do a different method like I talked about before. You can also stencil directly onto a 4¼ by 5½ background, and you could use I will show two methods for this as well. You can use this blocks die to create your frame basically of where to ink and where to shade your envelopes. You could also use the Postage Collage A2 stencil that goes with the basic piece of the postage collage basically. I will show that later. And just wanted to show this example as well in case you don't have that stencil, that you can still color them like this. I think that's just fun to show different methods in case you don't have some of the supplies, and also you can see which one makes the most sense to you, basically, like what you think would be the easiest. Here I'm using some weathered wood, distress oxide, did a bit of camera, and here you can see that stencil I was talking about, the Postage Collage A2 stencil. You can lay that on your 4¼ by 5.5 inch panel, and then ink your envelopes like this, because they will be the same size as that addressed envelope stencil. I'm also using it to do these cute little lines on the edges of your card to make it feel more like a postcard. I'm just altering the colors that we also used for our panels, but you know one doesn't line up, because with two colors it will, but with three no. So it's basically like one color at the top part, but I don't personally mind that. If you do, then I would just using one or two of the colors. Now we can align that addressed envelope stencil again, and then I will do the same as on our previous card, basically just alterate those three colors again. And this time I'm actually altering a bit more, like doing two different colors of details on one envelope. So you can go as crazy as you want. You could do rainbow, you could do tone on tone, it's a lot of options. That's what I always love about using stencils. Reveal, and actually for this one we'll leave it like this. You could use your blocks die or your basic postage die to cut it out. But I saw Galina from the Waffle Flower design team also use it like this, just as a stencil. And I thought it would be really cute as well. So here we're just using all those accessories, and we're gonna ink them in the same colors as our envelope stencil. And just to fill out the card, basically. And this one will be a bit bolder color-wise, because it's the stamp markings and not the oxides, but also because I inked up the envelopes itself with the stencil a lot more than I did with the oxide. There I adjusted the edges just to show, the different options you could do, basically. Now it is time to fill up this cute envelope with the letter and with our greenery. And what I have left over too much from my liquid glue, I'll just take away with my tweezers. It dries clear, so you don't have to worry too much, but if it seeps through a little, I'd like to just take it away with my tweezers. And now I'm just going to add a few drops of that fake wax seal dye. I just love it. I got it from some brushed silver cardstock from Spellbinders. We have it in the store as well. It's amazing. It's not as shiny as the mirror cardstock, but it still gives a shine. So that can be a fun touch as well. And of course we need some glitter. It's a bit of a silver opal type of glitter. I use the basic stencil to cover stuff up. And by stuff I mean that like white border. Here you can see our ink border, but it's not going to waste because we can use it to layer in our envelopes. At least I thought. But here you can see me taking off that glue because I forgot to put our cube postage glass stamps on this. I'm using the normal one and the euro symbols one. I will link that one down below as well. It came in new today, so I think it's more fun to use the euro stencil for us Europeans. So I think that's a very nice addition in case you don't have it yet. And I just love the detail these postage glass stamps give. Like, it just looks so much more realistic. And here we are gonna do the same with our other one. And again, I'm using that Postage Collage stencil, the A2 standard one, to like block off those white edges there. And now it's time to assemble, finally. So we put the glue there again for the second time and just gonna inlay all our cute envelopes here. And then we'll also layer the white border on top of it. It's a bit higher than the envelopes, which I like. So I would have layered it anyway, so no point to let that inky one go to waste because you won't be seeing it off camera. I've put on all my foams on all our accessory bits because I like that bit of dimension. Just gonna attach that envelope with our letter and the cute greenery, and then some of the Butterfly Silhouettes die, which I inked in the same colors as well, just a little bit to fill up our card. And I chose the handmade for you sentiment and thank you. It's a hot foil sentiment from Spellbinders. I love this set. It's not too big, and I always love a good hot foil. So I hot foiled it in silver this time. Normally I go for gold, but because I also used the silver splatter details, I thought silver would be nice. And I used sentiments that I can use for cards to put in you guys' order, because I'm running low, which is a good thing, because we got orders, of course, but yeah, I'm getting a bit behind of having them prepped. So I thought I'll use some sentiments that can actually go in people's order. That way I will have 3 more cards in our stash there today. So that's nice. Here I'm attaching our, non-die cuts, stenciled envelopes to a card base. And basically gonna do the same thing, but I'm pulling in the dry flower die, as you can see here. I thought it would make a nice addition to have a bit of variety, variation. God, I mean, sometimes I think too difficult, but a bit of variation too. Dress up our card basically. So I'm just gonna put them in this smaller envelope, and I'll just cut off what I don't need on the down part, because they are quite long, but you can always make them shorter. That way they're much more versatile as well. And this is how I'm using things so much. Same thought process, it will go well with orders, and this is also hot foiled with silver and also from Spellbinders. And I'm just kind of seeing where I want everything to go, and of course we will use foam tape on these as well. And here I'm just playing with that third dry flower, but I felt like it would be too much, so in the end I decided to leave it off. But what I like about these stencils, they are a bit more basic, not as detailed. Well, there is detail, but like they lend themselves really well to put some small die cuts on to like decorate them. You can just go through your stash and find older waffle flower products or from another brand and just like decorate your envelope like that. I feel like that makes it very versatile, and like the amount of colors you can do with stencils is just what I definitely love. And I mean, inking is my favorite part of making a card, so stencils are really my jam. I hope this video already showed a bit of the difference between the STEMMarket Dye Inks and the oxides. Like I said, I will do a video where I make 2 of the same backgrounds using both of those ink types, so you can really see a side by side, but I feel like this already shows it a bit as well. That they just stay more bright, and that's what I just love about it. Although the chalky look of oxides can be really nice on certain cards as well. Well, that's our second card, and I will show you some close-ups of the cards we made and the cards I made previously. Here you can see with the stem market and dye inks, and next up is with the oxides and then just the edges. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment or send me a PM as always. If you have suggestions for next video, please let me know. It's always very welcome. Thank you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Have a crafty day. Bye.